Today's video is all about onions. I went and harvested some onions earlier today, and if you would like to see just a short video or a short clip of me harvesting the onions or talking about the onions, then go to the video called Potato Beetles, Onions, Blueberries, Blackberries, and Strawberries. Go watch that video. And if you want to see us actually planting the onions, then go back and find the Planting Onions video. So once again, I mentioned it earlier when I was harvesting onions that we're in north central Arkansas, and we can grow all three varieties of onions. There's three different varieties of onions. There's a short day, intermediate day, and long day onion. And look into that and see what you think about that. Read and do the research about those three types of onions and see what might work for you. I'm not going to go into that and explain all that, but I will tell you that we have grown all three types of onions. In north central Arkansas, we're not too far south and we're not too far north. We're kind of really in the middle of the United States, and so all three varieties can work in our climate. Let me get my cheat sheet so I can remember my varieties that we like to plant. Short day, there was one variety in particular, and I'm sure there are others that would work, but we like to plant the 1015 Texas Super Sweet onion, and it's a yellow onion. They actually do really well. The yellow onions just seem to do the best where we are. So that's our favorite. Intermediate day onions, we plant the candy, and I think that's a yellow one. The Superstar, I believe that's a white one, and white onions, for whatever reason, don't do all that great for us. Maybe other people can get them to work, but we've not had a whole lot of success with the white onions. And then red candy apple onion, those do normally pretty good for us, but the yellow has been the best performer so far. We can also grow, I have not grown this type of onion yet, but it's a storage onion, and I've had friends that have grown it and they've done really well. It's a yellow onion. It's called Patterson, and most onions will store for a few months. You know, you might get several months out of them, but supposedly the Patterson, I just had a fly go into my mouth. Gross. Oh, anyway, that's fun. I should have just swallowed it. Anyway, the Patterson onions supposedly keep from 9 to 12 months. So if you want to store a bunch of onions, try out the Patterson. So I hope that helps. We're in north central Arkansas. We grow the short day, the long day, and the intermediate day onions. Look into it and see what onion would work best for your climate. I included a link to a YouTube video, and there's a lady that explains short day, intermediate day, and long day onions, and she does a really good job explaining it, so I'm going to let her explain that to you. So if you'll just click on the link included in the description, then that will tell you more about those different onion types. Okay, so we normally order our onions from Dixondale, and that's in Texas. Their onion starts are always amazing, and we usually order the little green plants. We don't, or we haven't really found that planting onions from a bulb has been that great for us, and so we'll always order the little transplants, and we order them usually December, January. You want to get to them before everybody else is ordered and there's none left for you. The Dixondale company, they're pretty popular, and so they usually sell out pretty quickly. But we'll get them ordered in December or January. They usually come in anywhere from February 14th, say Valentine's Day, until maybe February 28th, the end of the month. And we'll get them in, and we'll try to keep them nice and dry and cool. We usually stick them in our, back when we had the berry farm, we would put them in our jam room where they would stay cool and they'd be protected. You don't want them left out in the weather to get wet and to mold or anything like that. So we keep them protected, keep them dry, spread them out until we're ready to plant them. And we normally plant them in March, or if you had to, you could plant them in early April, but usually sometime during the month of March, maybe the middle of the month or so, we'll get those in the ground. And so when you get ready to plant them, you don't want to, you don't want your soil to be super dry. You don't want your soil to be super wet, but make sure you've kind of had a recent rain. That way the soil is at least workable so you can get your little onions into the ground. And onions like a lot of water. And so if you're in a period where you're not getting a lot of rain, which is usually not a problem for us in the time of year that we plant those, then you'll want to make sure you get them watered, supplement the water there. And then also onions are heavy feeders. They like to be fertilized, and so we'll fertilize them right after we put them in the ground, and then we may fertilize them a couple of other times before we harvest them. If you have any questions about onions or onion varieties, or just general questions about anything, feel free to give a comment. Leave a question in the comment and we'll answer you. Thanks, and I hope you've had a great day.